Hello, boys and girls. This is Miss Harmon, and today we are going to be talking about true or false equations. The goal is that we can find out if equations are true or false. So here's our math talk for today. It says, how many squares do you see? And how do you see them? What equation could you write? Take a moment to look at this image and decide how you would group the squares together. What is one way you could write an equation for this image? How many different numbers did you add? Great job. Here's another image. It says, how many squares do you see and how do you see them? What equation could you write? How did you group the squares together here? Was it the same or different? How about your equation? What did you choose to write? Great job. So what is the same and what is different about how you solved these? Was it the same answer? Were there different numbers? Were there the same amount of numbers? Share with someone next to you. Great job. In today's equation, we're going to be talking about true and false equations. This question says, is each equation true or false? How do you know? We have 3 plus 3 equals 6 and 3 plus 1 equals 6. Tell someone else what you're thinking right now. You can start by saying, this equation is true or false because blank. And let's talk about the one on the left first and then the one on the right. What did you decide? Did you get to share your ideas? Good job. So here are some ways you might know if each equation is true or false. Oops. So on the left, we have a visual. We know this is true because when you add 3 and you add 3, you get 6. One way you can do this is if you know your doubles. You know that doubling 3 2 times will give you 6. Or if you're counting on, that means you're not starting from 1, but you're starting from 3, or you're starting from the number that begins in the equation. So if you're starting from 3, 4, 5, 6, you've added 3 more and you got 6. Over here, we know 3 plus 1 is false. And we also used a visual to show our thinking. We know that there's 3 on top, and if you add 1 more, you don't get 6. What do you get? That's right, it's 4. And you can use the same counting on. You can count 3, and then 1 more makes 4. So we know 1 more than 3 is not 6, it is 4. So this equation is false. Is this equation true or false? How do you know? Tell someone else your ideas. You can start by saying, this equation is true or false because. Did you get to share your answer? What did you decide? How do you know? What did you notice was different about this equation in comparison to the other equations? Great job. So in this equation, instead of having two separate equations equal a total, they are balanced on one side of each other. So there's only one equation symbol. And so whatever adds up on this side has to equal what's on this side. We know from these two equations that they both don't end up equaling 6. So what does that make this equation? Is it true or false? It's false. Great job. So here are some ways you might know if this equation is true or false. So we know when we add 3 together, we get 6 on this side. But when we add 3 and 1, we get 4. This is not the same. So you can say, I know 3 plus 3 is 6, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So both sides of the equal sign are not the same. Even though they both have 3 plus something, the something is different, so they can't be equal. Does that make sense? I like how there's visuals to help us organize our thinking. Sometimes it's very hard to just look at numbers and decide if it's true or false, or to do it in your head. It's okay to have to draw it out. And these are very helpful 10 frames. All right, let's keep going. So today, your goal is to figure out which equations are true and which are false. In Seesaw, there's an assignment with a true and false equation sheet, similar to this one. What you will do is you'll decide if the equations are true or false, and you'll show how you know. The second page will be a homework review. I'm really proud of everyone's hard work this week, and I just want to say keep up the great work. You're doing a great job, and this first week of online learning has been very successful. I hope everyone has a good rest of their day, and if you have any questions, please reach out to your teacher. Okay, that's all for now. Goodbye.